Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Crumbs podcast. We have officially started the new podcast. It's been so long, guys. It's been so long, I know. It's been really bad. It's been a rocky bump, but we finally did it. We've locked in. Anyways, as you know, I am your host, Astro, from the previous podcast, and I'm still your host. I'm also server owner of the Discord Crumbs. As you can tell, we are in a new setup right now, designed by Asshat. Thank you, Asshat, for designing this. But yeah, we are here, and we are here with our very first ever Crumbs member on the podcast. He is a modder, he is a voice actor, a YouTuber, a good versus player, professional Gmod troller, 4-year Crumbs member, and good friend. Call me Nick. Hello, call me Nick. Hello, Nick. Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is CallMeNick, and today I'm doing a podcast. A lot of what Asher said is true. I do a lot of those things. I like Gmod, Left 4 Dead 2 Versus, Bada Bing Bottom, stuff like that. But yes, I am also a Crumbs member, and I'm very glad to be a Crumbs member, and I'm very happy to be here. How we doing, Astro?
We are doing well. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited to start the new journey of the podcast. It's really going to be exciting, I know for a fact. And as you guys can tell from the previous podcast, we're going to have some members that appeared on that podcast on this podcast, starting with our first ever member, Nick, who was on the Someday podcast as our also first ever member. So here we are. How are you doing, Nick? You doing good?
I'm doing very good. It is good to be back. Haven't done this in a couple years, so
Mm-hmm.
can't wait. Can't wait for this. Can't wait for this. Been a long
We
time coming for the sequel.
we shall just get into it then, all right?
Yepers.
Okay. Where did you get the name Call Me Nick from?
Alrighty. So long ago, I went by a different name. Uh, so I was a big fan of the video game known as Splatoon. Uh, so I kind of had like my name as like some cringy Splatoon name. I forget. I forget. But one day I was like, I'm kind of too old for this game now, and this name is kind of cringy. So I just thought of two things. My favorite YouTuber at the time, Call Me Kevin, and my favorite character from a video game that I like, Nick. So I just decided to combine the two, and Call Me Nick became a thing. It's pretty much where it came from.
Mm. Okay. Pretty interesting. I would have thought it was just, I thought it was just one of those random generated names because a lot of people on the server do that. But I mean, I do see where you're coming from the call me and the Nick part. The Nick part, I was like, okay, yeah, that's more obvious, right? I didn't know that the call me part came from, the YouTuber. I didn't know that part. That part I did not know.
Yeah, during that time, I was watching a lot of his videos, so he was just like kind of the main thing I would watch. So it just made sense, in my opinion.
Fair enough, fair enough. So, while we're on the topic of usernames, where did you get the username Evil Pumpkin from?
Okay. So Evil Pumpkin is my Xbox name. I got that from my GTA 5 character because back then I would wear like a pumpkin head, and even the hat or the mask in game is called Evil Pumpkin. So originally my Xbox name was like my sister's name, and I just decided to change it one day to Evil Pumpkin because I couldn't really think of anything else, and I wasn't calling me Nick at the time, so it just stayed as that basically.
And I'm guessing it stayed as that until where you decided to change your name to Call Me Nick, I'm guessing, right?
Well, on Xbox, it's still Evil Pumpkin. I might change it to Call Me Nick soon. Still figuring it out, but I don't know.
Fair enough. Why do you like Nick from Left 4 Dead 2?
Well, Left 4 Dead 2 has always been my favorite game. Originally, Ellis was my like all-time favorite character, but then like growing up, I don't know. He just always he's just sour with me. Like the scumbag character, like the sassy scumbag character becoming the nice guy in the end. I don't know. That always sat well with me. And I've always was a fan of his suit and the way he looked. I don't know. He just kind of clicked with me. You find that character that you like, and then bam, he just sticks with you. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. After playing Left 4 Dead 2 all these years, I don't know. He was just the one that I chose.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's kind of like just you just have a character or you see a character and then you either play as that character or you just you see that character in game and then it's like, okay, I like that character because they have this kind of aspect to them and that they're unique. Kind of like how I am with Natsuki a little bit because whenever I played DDLC, I was like, okay, this is a unique character, but it was also just the fact that it was a character that kind of, in a way, I related to. Because, in my opinion, she can be very obnoxious and annoying, but she can also be like deep inside caring and whatnot in a type of way. So it's like, I kind of get what you mean. We all kind of start somewhere in a sort of way where we like this kind of character and then we're like, okay, I'm gonna just stick with that character, and unless like there ever becomes a point in time where we're just like, okay, I'm gonna switch my main character out with this character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I get that. It just comes to how you feel about the characters, all.
Yeah. Okay. Why do you like Shane Walsh?
Shane Walsh. All right. I don't know. It's kind of the same thing with Nick. A lot back then, me and my family would always watch The Walking Dead whenever it was airing on TV still. Uh, yeah, like when the first season came out, I don't know. His characters always sat well with me. Like he was like the first kind of leader of the group originally, and then Rick came into the picture. Uh, I don't know. It just kind of clicked. Just how Nick did with me. Uh, Also, I've always been a fan of John Bernthal, the actor of Shane Walsh. So, yeah, I guess that was also another reason.
Fair enough. Me personally, my favorite character is Bob Adams. That's the go.
God,
That's the go. That's the go to The Walking Dead. Speaking of The
don't even see
Walking
his
Dead,
face.
speaking of The Walking Dead, is there anything about The Walking Dead that you like? Spoilers, spoilers, in case anyone's on this part and you haven't watched The Walking Dead, spoilers, so just click off for a little bit. But is there anything about The Walking Dead that you like in particular, Nick?
Um, Walking and Watching Dead kind of brings me nostalgia because me and my family would always sit down and just watch it whenever the shows were airing. I've always been a fan of the earlier seasons. Out of and like when the seasons like kept going further and further, like more seasons happening, it just kind of, in my opinion, got a little boring. And the fact that they killed off like a lot of fan favorite characters, especially Carl, that's when I kind of stopped watching. But every now and then, I always like to rewatch the early seasons, like 1 through 5 or 1 through 4. That's basically when I stop it. Uh, but yeah, it's just always been like a fan favorite show of mine. Good characters, and I've always been a big fan of zombies. Very big fan of zombies. So yeah, that's another reason why I like it so much.
Fair enough. Pretty, I will say, I do gotta agree with you. I think, in my opinion, the later seasons did start to get bad. I personally, I think it was when Glenn died. I think that was when it was like
Oh,
truly starting to kind of just derail, if you know what I mean. Because it's like Glenn, he was like one of the first ever characters ever, and then it was like, okay, you have Glenn dying, but like people still watch the show because it was like, oh, what might happen with Negan? What might happen with Nick? What might happen with the Saviors? Rick's group? It's like what might happen with all of that, and then I think I will say, I think for me personally, the final nail in the coffin was like when Carl died, because it was like you killed off Glenn, well you also killed off Abraham, but then you killed off
mm-hmm.
Carl next, and then it was like, okay, we're just getting rid of all the old characters, and then I definitely will say is like you had some people still sort of watching, and then I think it's when Rick died, or Rick died in quotation marks, where everyone was like, "Okay, listen, we're gonna stop," because you got Rick's
Hmm.
the main reason The Walking Dead is The Walking Dead. So it's like
Yep,
without Rick, what is this then? It's like what are we doing here?
exactly. I do have a funny story. The day when it was the Negan line thing where he was choosing who to die or who to kill. Uh, when Carl, or no, not when Carl, when Glenn died, oh my God, my whole family was like, no, no way. And my sister, I had this, like, I had this memory. My sister was bawling her eyes out. Like, that's when my sister stopped watching specifically. I just remember that moment, like, whenever I think about that season of The Walking Dead, it will never leave my mind. Because like, why give Glenn all this like character development and stuff like that if you're just gonna kill him off? I get that he died in the comics in the same way like that, but like, come on, I feel like you could have at least spared him that. But
Right.
yeah, whatever, whatever.
That's one of the things you'd never know because like the Walking Dead comics are definitely different. They're like sort of different, but also not because it's like you have some deaths that happen, and then other ones happen like way later on, or just don't happen at
Hmm.
all. So it's like, eh. Um,
Exactly.
Speaking of which, a little bit off topic. Why do you like the Scout from TF2?
It's another favorite character of mine. So when I first got TF2, I forgot when.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. Might cut off.
You're good.
Um, So when I first played Team Fortress 2, I don't know, Scout kind of just sat well with me. He was the first character I ever played. Him and Spy are my main characters. So I don't know, like I've always liked his like cockiness and like the fact that he's very fast and can double jump. Uh, I've always liked that about him. But yeah, he was, I don't know, he just became my favorite character. Probably because I played as him first, not gonna lie.
Fair enough. Me personally, gotta go with Demo Man. Demo Man was always my favorite.
Good choice, good choice.
What got you into TF2?
So I didn't even know TF2 existed until my real life friend from elementary school showed me it one day. He recommended me this cool game called Team Fortress 2. So he made me install it, and then me and him played, and then I don't know, I just absolutely fell in love with it, and that kind of got me addicted to hats for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, ever since that day, I just been watching like SFM stuff like that, animation shit like that. I just always like it was like a chill game for me. It felt nice, honestly. One of those chill games like Left 4 Dead 2. Good game. Good game.
Fair enough. I didn't start even I personally didn't start playing until like probably the worst era. I didn't start playing till the worst era, which is when all the aim bots started showing up.
Ooh,
And then they were like
yeah.
they were flooding the whole chat and then they were flooding the voice chats with stupid stuff. And then definitely the Omegatronic bots, that era, that was like when
Ugh.
I was starting to play and it was like it's like why is there so many bots? I thought TF2 was supposed to be a game where you're just fighting people. I mean, I heard of aimbots back then because of the I forgot what it was called, the LMAO box, something like that.
Yeah, LMAO box was like
Yeah,
the cheating website people used.
right. Because I heard of that back then, and I was like, okay, so there used to be aimbots, but now they're still aimbots. Because I didn't know. I thought I was just like, okay, there's just this another era of aimbots. I'm guessing which is called the Omegatronic, and I thought those were real people. Because I don't know if LMAO box was real people, but I'm just over here thinking to myself, why is TF2 flooded with so many bots? And then I had to go to community servers because it was so bad on the casual ones. It was so horrible.
Yeah, honestly, that would probably be the worst place or the worst year to start playing TF2. LMAO box was real people, but Megatronics was definitely bots. And I have no idea why. Just people just wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm gonna add bots to a very old video game that people love because I have no life. I just never understood that. It's like ridiculous and shit. But thankfully, all the bots and hackers are gone. Even though sometimes we get a little bit of waves of bots every now and a few hackers sprinkled and casual. But the game is still alive and still kicking. And it'll take like I don't know, maybe like I see the game probably dying in like maybe 15 years, maybe 14.
Mm,
But we still got a long time to go with Team Fortress 2.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Why do you like Randy Marsh?
Ah, Randy Marsh, another big favorite character of mine. Um, well, during the earlier seasons, he just always stood out to me. Like my favorite episode that he's in has got to be the Bat Dad one with like the baseball episode. Uh, I've always liked his personality, honestly, in the show and some of the jokes he makes, like him like putting his balls in a microwave. Just get a little bit of cancer, Stan. I don't
Sharon!
know, just always the jokes and like the way he just yells at people's names, like Sharon,
Sharon!
Sharon, stuff like that. It would just always make me laugh, and yeah, it just felt right.
Yeah, I get it. He is definitely a unique character to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Randy and South Park, is there anything you can remember from South Park that made you like Randy in particular?
Uh, I like how sometimes they give Randy his own episodes or like make him like the main character of that episode. I will say that.
Fair enough, fair enough. Moving on. Why do you like Venom?
Another favorite character of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Ever since like the first movie came out with Venom, it just like I said with the other characters kind of clicked. I don't know. It's just like I have like my mindset around these characters, and like when I just watch a show, a movie, or video game, and I just see this one character, it just makes me like, oh, that's a character I really like. So they kind of did that with Venom as well. I like what they did with his personality in the movie because in the comics he's a little different because he's like more of a villain, but in the movie he's like this like guy who just needs to eat and survive with Eddie Brock and like just wants to kill bad people, kill good people if he has to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just like the movie, the Venom French, the Venom trilogy kind of just made me like Venom a lot, and I love his design as well. That's probably why.
I think that was that one of my favorite parts. I haven't seen the other two Venom movies, like the Carnage one and the recent one, I think
Last
they.
Dance
Yeah.
is what it's
I
called.
I haven't seen those two. I did see the first one, and I will say my favorite part about the Venom movie for that specific reason alone is just how the personalities contrast between the two. Because you have Venom who's like, I want to kill people, and then you got Eddie that's like, no, bro, we can't do that. We can't do that. We gotta lay low.
Yeah,
That part, that's one of my favorite things that like I do, and I can appreciate that they did because in Spider-Man 3 we didn't have that. It was just Venom is the bad guy. That's it. He wasn't even a
yeah.
bad guy. He was just like a side bad guy. Then you had
He was
Sandman.
just yeah, he was just like a suit basically. He's just the suit bad guy.
Yeah, but and then yeah, I think that's one of the best character developments that they ever did. Definitely Venom. Venom has gotten a step up, especially because of Tom Hardy. He knows how to act, and I do like that. It's
Oh
funny.
yeah,
It's funny seeing just the two characters like contrast each other and just argue, and I think that's funny.
yeah. Honestly.
Speaking of Venom, have you watched any of the Venom movies, and what do you think about it?
The Venom movie. So I saw the first two at home, and I saw the final one in the theater with my family. Um, I really like them. It's a shame that they're not doing anymore, but it's probably for the best because there's already three movies. Uh, spoilers for the third. You know what? I actually haven't seen the movie, so I won't spoil. But good movies, great movies, great movies. I don't know. I just honestly, if I was to choose like my top 10 favorite movies, that trilogy would probably be in like 6, 7, and 8, honestly, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Uh, And your thoughts on the Spider-Man 3 one where he was partly in it? What was your thoughts on that? If you've seen it.
Yes, I've definitely seen that. One of my childhood movies. For what they did in that movie, he isn't really just Venom. It's just the symbiote that basically
Yeah.
the symbiote is just basically just a alien that has no personality. Eddie is
Yeah.
like the one in the movie who kind of gives it a little bit of personality, but not really. But it all right. It all right.
I mean, it's alright.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right. Like
Overrated
overrated as
as
fuck.
fuck. Moving on. Why do you like the Punisher?
The Punisher, mainly because he's played by John Bernthal and he has his own show. We're talking about the John Bernthal version
The
of
John Bernthal Punisher. Yes.
But like I said, mainly because he's played by John Bernthal, which is like my favorite actor out there. But that's pretty much the reason. Also, he plays a badass character, so who wouldn't like him?
Have you seen the show? Like the show and then the recent one of the where he appeared on Daredevil? Have you seen that?
So I've seen his show, but I've only seen clips of him on their Daredevil show. I'm gonna
Okay.
have to watch that.
Okay. Okay. Do you plan on watching it in the future, like anytime or something like that?
Oh yeah, definitely, because I know the Punisher is gonna be in a new Spider-Man movie, so I think that has to do excuse me, with some stuff.
Mm, I see. Speaking of John Bernthal, because you mentioned him, what is one of John Bernthal's characters that you really like?
Well, it's gonna obviously have to be Shane Walsh and
Yeah,
Punisher. He plays a lot of other characters in movies and other such, but in my opinion, the most iconic ones to me is definitely Shane Walsh and Punisher.
fair enough. I I think I remember him playing. He played a cop in one of in a show. I don't remember what show it was, but that was
There's
one I saw. I saw that
there's a
one.
show on Netflix that I keep getting recommended. I don't know what it's called, but I know exactly what you're talking about. It's that show.
Dude, people who take naps. If anybody takes naps, dude, I don't want to see them take any naps. I don't know why John Bernthal talks about that, but all right, bro. Whatever floats your boat.
Listen, I take naps. I saw a picture of him taking a nap. I don't know what he's talking about, taking a nap. Listen, people need to take naps every now and
He
then, all right?
draws the line at naps, but during an interview where he got interviewed for Sean Evans on Hot Ones, he's like, "I pissed myself in acting class." You draw the line at naps, but you don't draw the line at pissing yourself. It's like, what are we
Exactly.
doing? What are we
Exactly.
doing? Um, moving on. Another character of yours. Why do you like Benson?
Benson. So, growing up, you would always see Benson as just like the angry manager. And like now that you're older, you see him as just like a guy who just wants to do his job, get paid, and don't have any slackers, just ruining everything. So he's always grown as a character as me, because watching regular show as a kid, you would be like, hey, leave Mordecai and Rigby alone, okay? They just want to have fun. But like older, you just realize, damn, his
He's
life sucks.
he's just trying to do his job, but he can't because fucking Mordecai and Rigby somehow find a way to summon a black hole into their universe or something. It's like,
Yeah,
how?
and the fact that he likes wings is really relatable. And he gets drunk off of wings. I forget about that.
I didn't even I forgot about that until you mentioned it up to this point. I was like, damn. I don't remember. Did he do that in the earlier episodes or like the later ones
Kind of, kind
in
of like in the
between?
middle, in
Yeah.
between. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Um, moving on. What made you want to build Benson in that one Minecraft server?
So, so before the other okay, hold on, let me refresh. So I've built houses, I've built shacks, I built a hotel one time with a lot of dogs in it.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something new, something iconic for the server. Because everyone else had like their own little house, like you had someone living in a forest, you guys had outworld houses, stuff like that. So I don't know, I feel like a house like that would stood out.
Yeah. Makes sense. And then you didn't even did I don't remember. Did you finish it or no?
I did finish it. It's just I never got to furnish it. So I basically just had
Right.
like a bed in there, and I had some of the trophies from some of the bosses that we killed from the Twilight Forest mod. But yeah, it was finished from the outside, but it was never finished in the inside.
Gotcha. I thought you didn't finish it because from what I remember, I don't know if you finished. I think you did finish it all. I don't remember if you finished like the glass part. That was like the part I don't remember. Then
I
again,
definitely did finish that. It's just getting all the
yeah.
materials sucked.
I mean, yeah, because you have red concrete, you have black concrete, you have glass, you have like gray, you have all that, and I can imagine that was just hard to build. Just alone by itself.
I will say there was a whole island near like where we all lived made out of gravel. A whole island made out of gravel. I used all of the gravel on that island for my Benson. There was so much gravel. Like there was only probably like 3 pieces left of the gravel. The amount of concrete I had to use for Benson was insane. I don't think I've ever spent so much time building like a house that big of Benson, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the past. How did you get into taters?
So, funny story. So one day I was playing with this one guy. I forgot his name
We
because
won't
I'm
we won't mention names here because I don't think
no,
we
no, this
want.
was a random guy. This was a
Okay.
random guy. He was one of my random Steam friends. I forgot how I met him. Maybe Team Fortress 2, something like that. But so me and him were just randomly doing tank run servers because me and him never touched it, I guess. And then I find his 1 8-player server, and I'm like, oh wow, this is cool. I've never experienced like tank run with 8 players before because this was new. Because I would always either play versus or campaign. So doing something new felt nice. And then I realized there was a Discord link, and then that is where I found Taters just by randomly playing with this one random guy. I haven't seen this one random guy in a while. I think he got unfriended. He unfriended me, or I unfriended him. I don't know. But yeah, if it hadn't been with for that random Steam friend I had, I probably never have joined Taters.
That is crazy to think about. Um, okay. Moving on. How did it feel being one of the first few people to talk in that server?
Uh, Felt pretty cool, you know. Everyone was a mute there, so I felt kind of scared being the only one who like that actually talk. But like when more people started talking, I got more comfortable with it. So yeah.
Fair enough. Is there any games that you miss that was hosted back then that you would like to be hosted now? Could be hosted by anyone, could be hosted by you, me, any other person. Just any games you miss that was hosted back then.
I will say, definitely Minecraft, and that one time we did play Among Us. That was pretty fun. I know everyone looks down on Among Us because, well, it's Among Us, you know. But
Yeah.
playing with everyone, it felt right. It felt really nice. Was there any other games though? I do miss the Gary's mod, Tank Run, Half-Life 2 stuff. That was very fun with everyone, including with like the voice mods of like
Yeah.
all the NPCs just screaming in your ears or just saying random memes. That was those were good times, I will admit.
Yeah. Maybe in the future, who knows? I will say, for those of you who are watching, there is good news because the Minecraft server will eventually be up. It was supposed to happen earlier this month in January, but due to some conflicts, it did not happen. But it will most likely happen during February, or most likely it'll happen during early February. So stay on the lookout for that. If I don't do it in time for early February, just please keep in mind I probably have other things going on. But yeah, hopefully soon that'll start up. Um, I will have to say I do have to manage mods and whatnot for all that because here's the thing: I don't know if we're gonna do mods. I don't know if we're gonna do all that. Some people might want that. I personally am not against it. I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice, but like, if people want mods, I'll do mods. I probably won't do over the top mods because I don't want it to drive. I don't want it to drive too far away from Minecraft because Minecraft, in my opinion, Minecraft has always just been a game where you like adventure, you survive, and if you want, you can build stuff in creative mode. So just seeing certain things to me that are like modded into there, at least to me, I find it to just be to just feel like it's taking away the point of Minecraft. I don't know if anyone else saw it like that during the times of when we did have mods. I don't know how you feel about that, Nick. But personally, me, I was like, man, it's great and all to have all these mods, but like for me personally, it drives too far away from Minecraft, if you know what I mean.
No, no, I get it. Especially when we had like I remember we had the gun mod. It felt cool for like the first day, but then like, the fact that we were killing like all these like cool bosses with like guns just kind of took away the feel from it. I
Yeah,
I would be okay with like maybe like just doing vanilla or maybe some mods there, just to like keep it a little extra,
right.
fresh. But regardless what we do, I will still be playing happy. We'll happy to be playing Minecraft again. Always loved playing with everyone.
Fair enough. Moving on from the previous, moving into now, do you see yourself in a few years from now still being in Crumbs?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I don't think I've ever been in like a group for this long, and I want to be here for as long as I can. Because honestly, Crumbs is like a family to me. I'm gonna say that right now. It is like a big old family to me.
Preach, 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 preach. That literally, I agree on so many levels. It's been like that way for me since the old server, like nearing the end of the old server. But I think it wasn't until Crumbs like officially like became Crumbs, where it was like, okay, now it feels like it. At least like to me. I don't know how other people on the server feel about it. I mean, if I can, I'll ask them. Unless certain people feel uncomfortable with that question, then I won't ask it. But um, it definitely feels that way to me too. So I get what you mean. I understand that fully. It's grown so much, in a type of way, and definitely has just made us all closer to each other in a type of way. And I that's what I really like. I mean, and especially because it's like it feels like a friend group. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, with the previous one, you had other people joining and they could be a part. And I do hope that maybe sometime in the future that there is another server that we could have for more people to be involved. But like the way it is for now, I do like it, the server that we have. Just it's really filled with a lot of close people and that I do like. So I get what you
Yeah, I agreed. I agreed.
mean. Is there anything that you wish could be changed or added to Crumbs?
Changed or added? Um, I think where Crumbs is at right now, I think it's pretty good. We're having people join VCs a lot more now. I know it was kind of dead for a little bit, but we're hopping back on the saddle. We're doing the best we can. People are getting busy, but it's perfectly normal for that to happen.
Right. Um, moving away from Crumbs a little bit, what got you into Left 4 Dead 2?
Left 4 Dead 2. So I will say Left 4 Dead 2 was and always has been a childhood game of mine. Been playing it since I was like maybe like 4 or 5. I don't know. I specifically remember having the memory of like the Parish beta or the Parish demo on the Xbox 360. I remember playing that a lot when I didn't have the full game. And I remember wanting Left 4 Dead 2 specifically for Dark Carnival because that was like always my favorite map. And like the concept of like a zombie apocalypse and like you're in like a fun fair or a carnival or a park, something like that was always like a favorite thing of mine. A funny concept. But Left 4 Dead 2 just always sparked a joy in me. I liked how all the characters interact with each other, how all these strangers who don't know each other have to survive together, all these different personalities that they have, all the jokes. That always made me love the game a lot. It'll always hold a special place in my heart.
Right. I won't lie. I didn't first start playing Left 4 Dead 2. I first started playing Left 4 Dead 1 because that was the game that I was like, I didn't even know there was a Left 4 Dead 2 at all. I was just like, okay, there's Left 4 Dead 1. You got Bill, Zoe, Francis, Lewis. Funny enough, Left 4 Dead 1, when I did like originally first started playing Left 4 Dead as a whole, I didn't even like Lewis. Bill was my favorite character. In fact, whenever I would play with my, because I would play with my two brothers and then I'd play with my cousin because that would make four. When we all played, there was kind of the norm where I was like, don't be Lewis or Francis. Those characters suck. But if you're Bill, you're the leader. And if you're Zoe, then you're
You're
really,
the girl.
then you're the girl, right? So it was just like, don't choose Lewis, don't choose Francis. But now, I mean, obviously things have changed because Lewis is my favorite Left 4 Dead character. So,
Yeah.
um, moving on though, what got you into Fortnite?
So my friend from school, elementary school, another friend from elementary school, childhood friend of mine, he got me into Fortnite. This was during chapter one, season two. So one day I get home from school and then he texts me saying that there's this game that everyone's playing called Fortnite. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. I don't know if I'll like it or not. And then I just instantly fell in love with the game. I wish he heard about it from. I wish he told me about it when season one was a thing, so I get like the full OG experience. But yeah, um, watching old clips of like the OG seasons always brings me nostalgia, including like the old menu music. That was good.
Mm,
Those moments just bring me back a lot. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I have him to thank for showing me that game. Honestly.
And then you started getting back into it, I'm guessing, whenever um nearing the end of the server. And then now
Yeah.
we start playing it still. It's like, but it doesn't happen as often as like it may have used to back then, but it's still every now and then happens. So,
Oh yeah, definitely. Ever since they added the South Park stuff, that stuff got me like hooked back on it. I
mhm.
do remember taking a very big break on chapter four specifically because Fortnite kind of got stale during that chapter, in my opinion. Uh, but like a couple seasons after that, I kind of got back into it. I think it was chapter five, season two or one is when I started getting back into it, and that's when everyone started playing it in server.
Yeah. What got you into repo?
Repo. Okay. I think it was because Miggy and Ziz and Jen were playing it,
Yeah.
and Toka gifted me it. Thank you again, Toka, for giving me it. Uh, that is reason why I also got it. So it was like another version of Lethal that I liked. Haven't played it since October, but still a very good game.
Fair enough. What got you into lethal?
Uh, So when Lethal first got hosted, it was like, oh wow, a new game we could all play together. So I tried it out, and it was like I haven't played a game like that, a scary game like that in years. Lethal now, it's not that scary unless like you're like alone in like the map by yourself because everyone else is either dead or they're exploring another part of the map. That is when it gets scary, or when you find out there's like a bracken somewhere like stalking you around the map. But like when we all first played Lethal and we all went to like Dine and we first found out the mansion, God, that was scary. Like you're in this new area, this new map, don't know what kind of monsters you're gonna encounter. Like getting the Jester, I remember like a clip of like Honey getting chased by the Jester, and she was just walking at the same pace as the Jester. We were all just laughing our asses off of that. That was funny.
Yeah. um, what got you into peak?
Peak. I remember seeing a lot of viral clips and videos of Peak, and it made me want to play Peak with everyone and see if we can get like funny clips like that and see if we enjoy the game. And yeah, it turned out everyone did enjoy the game. We're not playing it as much now, but I'd like a couple hosts every now and then.
It's just one of those games where it's like it happens, and then it like dies down for a long while, and then it happens again, and then it's just like, eh.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, basically.
flat line, and then just goes up again, and then just flat lines again, like every month or so.
Yeah, basically. But it's a really good game with friends. Definitely with friends.
I agree. What got you into Dead by Daylight?
Ooh wee. So I got this game back in like 2018 or 2017 back on the Xbox. Uh I kind of have a hate love relationship with that game because I will tend to rage on it. I will admit. I even like a couple hours ago I was raging because someone was playing as the ghoul in that game. I raged pretty bad. But the fact that you can play as all these iconic horror characters and iconic survivors and like iconic maps, like that was always cool to me. I like that a lot. And I don't know. Like I said, though, hate love relationship. I hate when I lose, but I love when I win, kind of thing. It's kind of like gambling in a way when you're playing as killer because you don't know if you're gonna win or lose, and you just get that great like feeling when you win the game, and you're like, oh, I want to feel that feeling again, but then you just lose. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's basically one of those games to me.
and
But
it's definitely skill, very
oh
skill too,
yeah,
because
definitely.
like maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just really bad at the game or I can't focus, but it's definitely like you gotta be on full alert because you don't know if the killer's just gonna be right behind you, just like, oh, I'm gonna pop out of nowhere and or whatever, and then you gotta like pick certain perks that you know are gonna be good, and then you don't know if you're gonna get like a horrible killer like the ghoul or just you don't know if you're gonna get certain characters and killers that are just gonna be
Yeah,
really bad, and I think that's also just the funny part about it because I didn't know. I didn't even know what the ghoul was and why you guys were like, "Oh, the ghoul's this bad." I was like, "Okay, can't be that bad." And then first ever game with the ghoul, horrible. I didn't even know the ghoul could just like launch a mile away from you and then just go cross country, just right there.
yeah. They did a big nerf on him on today's update, but he still feels very crappy to go against. But it's Devadilla, not every game is gonna be a win for you unless you're a comp player, I guess.
Yeah. Um, moving on. Do you see yourself ever making mods again?
That is a very good question. When I first made the two BioShock Survivor mods, that took me a while. I did have help, of course, but it just felt very, what's the word? Exhausting. I will say that. Having to go in Blender, paint out like the color things and stuff like that. Having to T-pose and like model it or the
Yeah.
bones, all the bones. God, it sucked. I will say I did get a virus because I
Oh.
was I was looking up the models for the Bioshock characters, so I
Oh.
kind of got a virus off of that. But when I found like this guide of how to get the models off of the Steam files, that's when I'm like, oh wow, I could have just looked at this guide and didn't get a virus. Uh, but speaking of the question though, will I ever mod again? I don't know. It depends if I have the time or if I just really feel like it. Because when I first got into modding, I had all these cool ideas, but like when I found out when I you had to do all of this stuff to mod. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I got a text message. But like when I found out you have to do all this stuff to mod, it it felt exhausting. So it's an I don't know question for now. Probably not, but who knows? Anything can happen.
Yeah, one thing just happened and then the other. It's just like cuz and I do hear what you're saying. It's a very like you have to put a lot. You gotta have a lot of patience for modding.
Yeah.
It's how I got into it. Um, but you have to go through a lot of fixes, and you gotta go through a lot of back and forth with, hey. I gotta do this with Blender, or I gotta do this with Crowbar. I gotta see what it looks like in game. I gotta texture it all. It's a very you gotta have a lot of patience for modding, and it
Mm-hmm.
also just depends on what you're doing too. It's just like if you want a whole Survivor model, it's gonna take you like it takes me days. I mean, although it took me days originally whenever I was first getting into modding, and then whenever I like later on, now of course I can get it done in one day. Especially it just depends. It just depends on the mod that you're doing. Like if you're doing a Survivor close mod, that's easy. But if you're doing like a whole remodel, which a lot of people I've come across from the video that I did, um it's very hard to say the least because you gotta have a lot of patience for it, and even then it's not gonna look 100%.
Yeah.
So I mean you just gotta that's just one of the things with it. You gotta have a lot of patience, and a lot of people might not have that. So but it also just like takes perfect you can't be perfect with your work, and I've learned to see that because I know a lot of my work isn't perfect, but you just gotta be like, hey, I'm content with this. I'm good with this. That's kind of how I am with my mods. I mean, I spend so long on it, spend months sometimes, years. So, but I mean, in the end, I look at it and I'm like, okay, it's not that bad. It could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Yeah, I get that.
Moving on. Do you ever see yourself making videos on your channel?
That is a very good question. So, as a kid, always kind of wanted to be a YouTuber and like do videos like how Vanos did or the Gaming Lemon or stuff like that. I've always had these cool ideas of like playing or doing let's plays on like this certain video game, shit like that. But growing up realizing, oh, if you really want to get to do the YouTube thing, you're gonna have to do a lot of editing, which
Yeah.
is something I'm not good at, and I feel like it would take a lot of practice for me to get good at and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
time. So I don't know, I kind of just gave up on that idea. I would love to do that though, trust me, like seeing people like earn all this money from just playing video games and recording it, that is something I've always wanted to do. But that requires editing, like getting your own thumbnails, editing your own thumbnails, or maybe hiring
Yeah.
someone to, like make a thumbnail for you, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that.
You gotta
So
another thing you gotta have a lot of patience for. But go on.
yeah, yeah, definitely a lot of patience for that as well.
Um, moving on. What was your house in the first Minecraft server supposed to be slash represent?
So I kind of moved into a villager house. I moved into like that church looking one that's made out of cobblestone.
Yeah.
So at the time, I had no idea what my house was going to be, so that's why I moved into it because it was just like a house I could just live in. Sorry, dogs are barking.
You're good.
But yeah, I just saw it as a house I could just move into. So, and then like during a couple days later, I was like, okay, well, everyone else is building their own houses, so I may as well do that. So I was I kind of made it into like a hotel. God damn. Sorry.
No, you're
So
good.
I
You're
I kind
good.
of made my house into like a tall hotel for some reason with like a lot of floors. So like in case new players or like people who join could have like a place to log in and like real quick just move in there for a second. It worked for one member, but
It
then I was
did.
like, you know what? Uh, this ain't gonna work. So I decided to make it into like the tutorial house from the old Minecraft books because of nostalgia purposes, of course. So that house took me a long time to build. It took me like I think 3 days to build, maybe 4 days. I took breaks every now and then. And I have you and who else helped you furnish it?
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was just me. I don't think anyone else furnished it. I could be
Oh,
wrong.
well, I have you to thank for furnishing it because when I build like a big house, I have no idea how I'm gonna do the interior because
Yeah.
you could have all these ideas. You can have like a kitchen and stuff like that, but like for my house, I had no idea what to do.
It's a struggle because you gotta. Yeah. Honestly, I gotta disagree with that. And I will say that's one of the things. That's one of the big problems I had with mine. it was really just more so the point of like, okay, you design a house, but it's like, how do you make the house look good? Because I mean, you're obviously gonna have a furnace in there, you're gonna have chests in there, you're gonna have a crafting table, but it's like, how do I make it look like a house? Because half the time you don't have actual like furniture to put in your house. You don't have like a table. You don't have like chairs. I mean, you can have like the stairs and like use slabs as like tables and chairs, but you don't have actual like furniture to put in your house. And
Yeah.
it just comes down to like, hey, I gotta make it look good. Here's what I can do. And then that was one of the funny parts I had to do with your house. I'm just like, how do I make this look good? How do I make it look like it's an actual house? And then I was just like, okay, boom, bam, bam, bop, and then I just did it. I was like, okay, this is absolute cinema. I cooked with this. Um,
Yeah, and the fact that you put aquarium in there as well was sick.
yeah, I completely forgot about. I was just thinking of like the top area. I wasn't even thinking about that part. But yeah, and like just putting all the fish in there too. I was like, oh, that part was a struggle too.
Yeah, I bet.
Um, why did you create a dog army on that server?
So, I love dogs. I love animals. I love cats, dogs, stuff like that. So, a part of me kind of had the idea of like, hey, what if I had like a giant dog army to fight like maybe the Wither? Definitely not the Inner Dragon, but maybe the Wither. So that was like my thought, but like I kind of gave up on that idea because like I love my animals. Why would I send them to death? So I kind of just had all these like dogs. So and everyone hated it because it was lagging everything, but
Hey,
whatever. I love
I'm
animals.
not
Okay.
gonna say anything. All I'm gonna say is that listen, it was lagging my game, and I think it was
Now
lagging
it was
Toast's
like a lot
game.
of people's game. I know.
I
I know.
remember I would just walk past your house and be like, "Why the hell is my game lagging so bad?" And then I would ask you to put it away, and then I still walk by your house, and I'm like, "Why is my game lagging so bad?" And then I realized it's the villager farm. I was like, "Oh, that would make sense. You had a
Yeah.
lot of villagers just in one place, so it's obviously gonna be horrible." But yeah. It's funny. And then you moved your dogs from the little apartment house to then just being next to that one person's house with the tall castle and whatnot. And then you moved
Yeah.
it back to your mansion, right? The
Yeah.
the basement.
Into like the little basement area. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the drama between you and that one court person that we did a video on that didn't talk?
Ah, yes, the court case with Moses.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. I could bring him up if that's all right. You know
Yeah,
his name.
that's
Whatever.
fine.
Okay, so Moses. So this was like the third or second Minecraft server. I forgot. It was the second one, I think.
Yeah, it was. I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this was the second Minecraft server. So we were all starting anew. Everyone had their own houses planned, built. So I kind of looked up mine. Up, it was like the Stardew Valley tutorial or Stardew Valley house that you get when you first get the game.
Yeah.
So it was gonna be like a little house on top of a mountain. So the video had all the materials you had to get at the start. So I put two chests on the mountain and had most of the materials up there. So I didn't get the building yet because I was a little busy with stuff. So this person named Moses decides, hey, wait, hold on, real quick. Let me give you some context. I put a sign next to the chest saying, "Don't take my stuff, building materials." So that's when Moses joined the server, and then I guess he found all the materials. He could have read the sign. He could not read it. Who knows? Who cares? It doesn't matter anymore. But he he took all my building materials, so that kind of started beef. So when I joined back to the server, noticed all my materials were gone. So I did some investigating. I looked around and I found out it was Moses because he had some barrels of mine that I had in a chest.
Mm.
So that's when everything kind of went downhill. I will admit, kind of started some fights, but he started it. He started it,
Man, takes me
and
back.
then yeah, we had this whole court case on it that totally wasn't rigged for him to win. Definitely wasn't. Uh,
Totally.
yeah. So
Uh,
bad stuff happened. I was being hunted down, stuff like that. Had a fight on top of a Jesus statue. That was bad. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. We could have done the fight a little anywhere else, but he decided to fight up there. His fault, okay. But all this happened because he took stuff out of my chest without asking, and he didn't even bother to read the sign. If he did or didn't, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Speaking of the Jesus statue, what was running through your head fighting on that statue?
We could have found a better place. I will say could have done it somewhere better. Something happened up there. TNT. Not my fault. Not my fault.
I
All right.
gave you the TNT. I'm pretty sure he lit it. But
He had it. He had
oh,
it.
he
He
had the
lit it.
TNT. Okay.
He had the TNT. He lit it. He blew up Jesus' shoulder. His fault, not mine. He wanted to fight up there. He decided to blow up the arm. Okay.
You
His
know,
fault.
a lot of
I
people
didn't want to fight up there.
a lot of people
He
don't
wanted to.
remember this from when that happened. I want y'all to know right now. I'm going to say this right now. I'm exposing all drama. All drama. Anyways, basically I gave Nick all the supplies to fight Moses. If y'all didn't know that.
Yeah,
I was in I don't think I was in creative mode. I think or it might have been. I don't remember.
you were in creative mode.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was.
I remember
I
you were flying around me and Moses.
Yeah, I'm over here like trying to do like a fucking cinematic shot of just you and Moses fighting. And then I think I gave you diamond sword, TNT, flint and steel, diamond armor, and all that. And I was like, okay, I have my money on Nick. Nick's gonna win this. And then Moses and then Moses ended up. I don't remember who killed who. I that part I don't remember.
I think me and him like fell off the Jesus statue. I forgot if he killed me or if I killed him. I don't remember, but I remember he also had TNT and flint and steel. He had I don't know if it was
Steel.
netherite or diamond armor, something like that. But I just remember him placing down the TNT, and I remember Honey getting pissed off at us.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, that was. I remember that day like it was tomorrow. It was me, Miggy, just watching you guys fight. You guys blow up the statue, and then I hear Honey. Oh, Honey went in a teacher mode for a second there. I was like, oh, scary.
Wait, who's we? I didn't blow anything up. It was all him. All him.
I don't know about that. I'm just kidding. Um,
Hey,
moving on. Why did you start the Skibbity toilet gag?
context. The skivvy toilet gag. So one day I had some money
Was it me, Honey?
and I saw, huh?
I was talking. Honey put in the chat. So you contributed to the destruction of Jesus. Wasn't me, Honey.
I
It was Moses and Nick. I swear it wasn't me.
yeah. Okay, Astro gave me and not Honey, me and Moses TNT. I think you gave him TNT as well. I forget, but he had TNT and flint and steel on him. Okay,
I didn't do
right?
anything with Moses. I gave you full everything because I was like, okay, you died. So I was like, okay, you're just hiding off in your own place. So I'm gonna give you the stuff so you can go kill him. And then that I did not know he had other stuff on him. Okay, I supplied it, but like at the same time, this is they're the ones that are fighting. They're fighting on the
You,
statue. I'm just the
I mean,
watcher.
she's making some great points. You kind of did supply us and collaborate in the
Whatever.
destruction of Jesus. But
Whatever.
back to the question of the whole Fortnite gifting thing.
Mhm.
I had some money and I realized, hey, let's give me toys in the shop. Let me do something funny. So I see a lot of my friends had their gifting on. So I decided, hey, you know what, let me do a little funny. And I forgot who I gave it to first. I think
You
it
gave it to me
was
first.
it was you first. I remember the clip. You were like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, thank you
And
for
then
that,
it just
you.
kind of went on from there. And then yeah, that's basically what happened. I was like, "Hey, I got some money. I see that in a shop. I saw the perfect opportunity and I took it.
I took it.
I took it."
These are the opportunities that I had. At least I took it.
Yeah, basically.
Um, if you had the chance, would you rehost any Left 4 Dead game modes that you did back then?
I really did like Wish Parade and
Mm.
obviously Tank Run. I would probably do that. Maybe if there's a new game out there that we all would probably try one day, that would probably be one as well. Uh, but probably Witch Parade or Tank Run.
Fair enough.
Or hide and seek. I never hosted that, but
Ah, now that
I
was
would
peak.
definitely be down for
Dude,
that.
I remember that video. That was the only video, by the way, guys, where Nick recorded and had his POV, and that video is now not released because two people are in it that shouldn't be in it.
True.
So, if I could, who knows? Maybe if I ever have the chance, I'll go back and re-edit that video and just cut
Yeah,
out certain parts.
you could either always just mute them, cut them out, or just leave it because who cares at this time, honestly.
Guys, we got a mini lad situation on our hands. It's really bad. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in
So
mind.
you're still playing Left 4 Dead 2?
They're still playing it? Okay, moving on. How does it feel seeing your face plastered onto that one GIF?
Oh, the gif of me doing the speed face.
See you trying to laugh, Speed.
I mean, it's a little weird, I will admit. I've never, like... I don't know, I was always a little weird about showing my face online, because... I don't know, it's just always been like a... Shut the hell up, Conrad. But, I don't know, it was just, like, always, like, a... I don't know, it was just, like, a weird thing for me. But, I'm kind of used to it now because, we're all friends, we all know each other and crumbs, so I'm okay with it now. But, like, if someone was to use it in, like, a different server filled with, like, thousands of people, that's when I would be like, I don't know about this one, chief.
That's a whole different story. Because one, it's like I don't know these people, but it's also like two, it's a bunch of people, so it's like you don't want that many people seeing your face, which is why I was hesitant to edit certain parts into the Crumbz rewind video when I posted it on YouTube because it has certain parts that I know, like, it was more so I didn't want to. I could have asked probably, and it probably would have been better to do that. But for my sake and the other person's sake, I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that because who knows, something bad might happen, or they might get uncomfortable. So I was like, I don't want to do that. But there was that whole situation and whatnot. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that happens. Um, Going into an oldie, what makes you want to get into voice acting? Because you said yourself in VC you would like to do voice acting. What makes you want to get into that?
I was always like a video game, movie, TV show guy, so I don't know, just like seeing all these people voice act and like voice acting and like TV shows just made me always want to do that. Honestly, shut the fuck up, Conrad. There are no allegations. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know what's gonna happen with me in the future. Like, I was never really good with anything, to be honest with you. Like, I don't see myself being like a firefighter or a cop, paramedics, or anything like that. Because I don't know. I I don't know. But like voice acting always just kind of felt right. You just find that one thing and it feels right. Now I ain't a professional voice actor. I will say that I all I did was just like voice over Nick from Left 4 Dead 2 and just voice over popular like TV show clips and stuff like that.
Right.
I would like to get better though one day, maybe take up like a gig, I found like this website online that like, oh, there's like voice acting or acting roles nearby you.
Yeah.
So that always, I guess, stood out to me. It would require a good mic though, and I don't have a good mic, I will admit.
Yeah. That is definitely one of the better things you got to do whenever you get a voice act. Get the good mic for sure.
Yeah.
Conrad.
Conrad, I can give you the damn cookie law.
So, speaking of voice acting, are there any voice acting roles you've done so far that you'd say you're most proud of? Which could be the covers of songs, Nick voice mod, the church guy voice mod, or Invincible.
Definitely Invincible and Definitely 100% the Nick mod. The Nick mod took a long time to do, and I got sick like once or twice because of doing it.
Yeah.
It took a while, but I'm glad to be done with that. It was cool at the time doing it, but like now looking back at it, it was like, God damn, that took a while.
Yeah. Took a whole year, by the way, for those of you who don't know, behind the scenes. Me and Nick originally we pitched the idea, or he, I don't know who pitched the idea to who, but it was we started it in a month, or we started it in like a week. We got through all the voice lines in that amount of time. And then it took a whole year for that whole thing to get done. Because if you don't know, Nick from Left 4 Dead has a lot of lines, a lot of cut lines too,
Mhm.
that you can use with voice mods. So it took a whole year for that whole process. And even now, it's not. I wouldn't say it's perfect because you have certain parts of whenever you're using that mod, if you have used it, there's certain parts when you use that mod where it's not gonna be as much as you want it. It's not going to be as good as you want it to be. Cuz I mean, it's you have certain parts cuz back then we had a whole plan. There was going to be me, Lewis, there was going to be someone as Zoe, someone as Bill, there was going to be Junk as Francis. Nick obviously. Assat was going to be Nick at some point. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know if he stopped doing that or not. Um And then I think at some point, I don't know if anyone was gonna voice Rochelle or Coach. And then Conrad was gonna voice Ellis at some point. And there was this whole plan for all that. And then it kind of stopped eventually because there was just certain parts of getting and scheduling certain just recording voice lines. That was that whole process of doing that. And it's a very tedious process because there's a lot of voice lines, one. And number two, it just depends on if you're gonna. Honey was gonna be coach. Yes, she was. Honey, I
Yeah.
got $20. Come on, be coach already. But yeah, there was just this whole plan for the voice acting, and it never really happened. But for those of you who don't know, again, Nick's voice mod took a whole year to edit. Still not
Yeah.
perfect, and it's still got to edit a lot of stuff. But I don't know if I'll ever do that with a lot to go through. So
At the end of the day, we still got it done.
yeah,
Still got it done.
that's what's important. I don't even know if whenever I did finish it, I released it to the old server. I think I just kind of kept it in the archives. So you know, um, what do you like about verses?
Versus. So versus was like always I guess like a childhood kind of game mode for me because I played a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 back then and now of course. But I always love the fact that you can play as a zombie in a video game because you're always the survivors, you know, you're always surviving this and that. But like the fact that you get to play as a zombie felt so badass in my opinion. And I love how all these special infected have their own roles, have their own combos and stuff like that. But of course, the community has to suck, you know. Back then, the versus community, it wasn't that bad. In my opinion, I don't think. Or maybe like my kid mind is just like getting rid of all the bad memories and I'm just thinking about like all the good ones. But
Yeah,
back then, it felt like it wasn't as bad as it is now because now you just have hackers, people posting like porn sprays, you know,
yeah,
racism, shit like that, or just people just leaving the game because they didn't get that one death charge, you know, or they're losing the game and they just leave, you know.
yeah.
So yeah, versus just was cool, but like now it just sucks.
And then there was a point in time I think where it was hosted on the old server. And then I do remember at one point I think it was you and Aang used to play back then.
Yeah, me and Ang used to play. I remember he clipped me getting like this one awesome death charge on Dead Center on the finale. I think I like
Hmm.
killed like 3 people because of that, or maybe everyone because of that charge. I forget, but yeah, me and Ang played back then. It was cool.
Yeah. Um so how do you feel so far from this podcast to the last podcast?
I feel like this one is definitely going better from the last
Yeah.
one. If you guys don't remember, my mic sucked ass in the last
Mm-hmm.
one. I forgot the reason. Astro, what was the reason for it? What was the reason my
So for
mic
those
was?
of you who don't know, whenever we first did Nick's podcast on my channel, a lot was wrong. One, I didn't have a script, so I was kind of just like, I was kind of just making stuff up in my head, making questions up in my head where I was like, okay, I can ask Nick this, and then there would be times where I'm just like pausing because I'm like, okay, what's a question I can think of? I was not prepared back then when I had this idea because I didn't even know if this idea was gonna take off in the first place. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do this. And if you guys don't remember or haven't watched that Nick's podcast from the old channel, his mic was really bad, and the reason for that was is because I did not own a pair of headphones or earbuds back then at all. So I was using my speaker, and Nick's voice would ring out twice during the podcast. So it was not great. It was not planned. It was really horrible. I when I was watching, I wasn't even watching the stream back then to like see if everything was good because I was just like, okay, it's obviously gonna be good whenever I'm streaming this. It was not. So that was the one big problem. But go ahead, Nick. What do you like different about this stream from the old one? So
I like that we have a script now because I don't I it just this one just feels better in my opinion.
yeah.
This one just feels right. It feels like everything is going good. Everything's going good. Everything's going right, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But it honestly does feel good to be doing this again. I'm gonna say that.
Does it feel different to when we did it the first time? Like just emotion wise, just being here wise, and you
Uh,
know.
kind of. It feels the same and different in a way. Feels a lot different, but same and kind of. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Here is an oldie that I love that all of you who are watching this podcast can expect on your podcast. Would you rather fight 10
Ah, God.
100-year-olds or 110-year-olds?
So last time I chose the 10 100-year-olds. This time I'm gonna
Yes.
choose the 110-year-olds because oh, you know what? If that was a way to go out, that'd be fucking hilarious. How did you die? I fought 100-year-olds. This is like the 100 guys versus one gorilla question.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I would
that's so funny to think about.
I would definitely fight 100 kids. You're just letting all your anger issues out on all these little kids who want to fight you. It feels right now, honestly. The pick 100-year-old, the 10 100-year-olds. That's too easy. I want a challenge.
You
So I would
gotta make
definitely
it
go with
through. You gotta
yeah,
fight
yeah.
those kids. Also, I don't know who is watching this, but for those of you who don't know, there was a lot of the people who are choosing to have a podcast episode now. They were asked this question before, but other people who are going to get interviewed at some point, potentially, hopefully, like Birdleaf and E, they're going to get these questions, and we're definitely going to have unique answers for them because we don't know what they're going to say. But we already know what previous people have said, and who knows? Maybe the answers will change. Maybe not. Maybe so. Who knows? But yeah, I'm excited to ask that for every person's podcast. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Um, so moving on, what was your? This is kind of a deep question. What was your 2025 like?
My 2025 like okay, so a lot of stuff happened in 2025. That's when I got my license and my first job in 2025. That was like my okay, you know what? You growing up here, so you growing up now, so you gotta get prepared for life and shit like that. So that was kind of like my wake up call year, because the years before I was just like in high school just playing games, stuff like that. But now I'm getting to like the adult years and I'm getting ready for that. kind of stuff, you know. So 2025 was good. Started off crappy, but
Mm-hmm.
you know what? We doing good now.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Mine. I'm gonna repeat this for every podcast because a lot of the answers I ask people like, oh, how did you get into this? How did you get into that? I'm obviously gonna probably give different answers, but in the same aspect of like I'm still saying the same thing. Um, yeah, no, mine, yikes. I won't lie, mine was rough. Mine was
Mm,
very rough. Like the start of it was rough. Don't get me wrong, but like even just like 2025 itself, just throughout all of it, for me it was really horrible. I had a lot of mental struggles that year, so it was overall really horrible for me. So,
I'm sorry to
but
hear that.
it's all good. It's character development. It needs to happen in life. You know what I mean? You gotta have that character
Yeah,
development.
that's true.
We are nearing the end of the questions. So, um, here we go. What was your most notable thing that happened last year that you are proud of?
Most notable thing. That is a good question. You know what? I'm gonna ask you the same question. What was your most notable thing during last year?
My most notable thing was getting into a relationship for like for the first time in a long time because I didn't know I was gonna be in one. I won't lie. I assumed for my whole life I was gonna be alone, and then things happened, and then I was like I met my boyfriend, and it was just a lot of things happened during that time frame, and we just everything's good now. So a lot has happened. That's what I would have to say would be my most notable thing that I'm proud of. I got into a relationship with a really good partner that I am proud to be with. But redirecting that question back to you, Nick, what is your most notable thing that you're proud of?
Uh, Proud of getting my license. To be honest with you, because I always thought I was. You know what? I feel like driving would be a little hard, but actually sucking up and learning and finally getting it done. It just felt right, in my opinion. Also, getting a job as well.
Yeah,
That's pretty notable. It's probably one of the biggest highlights, in my opinion.
fair enough. How did it feel working for the first time last year?
Uh, it felt right. Felt right. Yeah, I mean, but my job isn't really that hard. All I'm doing is cleaning up theaters, making food for ungrateful people. Uh, but you know what? You gotta deal with it. Just deal with the hours and you get paid. So it all right. All right. If I get a harder job in the future, I'll let you know.
I guess in the future when we do Crumbs podcast part 3, yeah, well, I guess we'll know. I guess we'll know then. Um,
Yeah.
we are not nearing, but we are on the final question. I want you to think about this one. If you could talk to yourself from when you first met all of us, what would you tell that past version of yourself?
Hey, stick with these people. They're good people, all right? You're gonna regret it if you don't. You better stick with these people or else.
Well said, like a goddamn hero.
Or
Yeah.
else.
And then again, this is like again, we're talking about first time we met all of us. So like
I
the first server. So yeah.
no, I get it. You're at a good place basically. Stay where you're at.
Yeah. I get that. Personally, I would tell myself honestly, I would just tell myself the same thing you just said cuz it's like you want to be with these people, you want to stick with them forever. But like
Hmm.
you also I feel like maybe this is just me. I wouldn't tell what happens in the future cuz I feel like you tell what happens in the future, that version of
Ruins the
yourself,
development.
yeah, you're gonna one that past version of yourself that you're telling is gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna be able to expect this moment, and if they expect that moment, they might ruin that moment or not. So it's like
Mm.
you won't have that part of your life kind of happen in a way. Or maybe I'm overthinking it, maybe. But that's just what I think.
No, I get it. I get that, honestly.
Okay. That is the last question. Um we are now getting to the part of the podcast. The podcast is delayed a little bit. Sorry guys. But we are at the part of the podcast now where you, the viewer, can ask questions to Nick. Unless
I
we don't
read.
have any questions.
Please, serious questions. Okay, because last time we did this, we had some goofballs in chat being like, what Conrad is basically being like right now, where you do the allegations. What the allegations, stuff like that. Okay, serious questions.
I think that was definitely one of the funniest parts of the your first one. It was, dude. The questions were just, I don't even know what those questions were. They were just trolling.
I don't
Trolls.
want to answer them. I didn't even want to
Charlie
answer it.
Cookie. It's Pop the Perky.
Jelly cookie.
You need a voice like
Yeah,
that.
goofballs, Conrad, goofballs.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Ma'am, okay, listen over here, Buster. All right, you bet. You know what? I'm gonna make sure I give you some crappy questions when it's your turn for the podcast. I'm gonna remember this.
I'll remember you. I saw your face. I'll remember you.
I saw your face. I'll
I
remember.
think of that one goddamn macho part where you were just wearing the costume. Ah, hell nah,
I'm not
Conrad.
answering that, you disgusting motherfucker. Got a funny man here, huh? Funny guy.
Think
Funny
you're
man.
funny? Huh?
Serious question, please. This is my episode, please.
This is the first ever episode. Nick's not gonna get a second chance. This is his second chance. He's not gonna get a third
Just a
chance.
chance. Please, Conrad, I need this. I need a chance for my
Conrad, I
episode.
need you to ask someone in VC right now a question about Nick. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
You
while we're
know,
waiting for some questions, do you have any more extra questions that come to mind?
um, not that I can think of at the moment. Um, I don't know. It was a lot of those. I wasn't expecting it to go. It did. This podcast did go by pretty fast, but like I didn't know it was gonna go this fast. So
Understandable. I can already tell that Conrad's gonna want to have like the longest podcast episode again. I can already see
you
that
say
becoming like a
that,
trend.
and then I think it was Conrad that had the longest episode, and then it was Honey, and then it was Strawberries, I think, and then Kubo, because Kubo was just like, all right, let me take the cake really quick.
And what is that question? What was Kate dressed like? Who the hell is Kate? Explain yourself.
Boy,
Who's he? It's over. He knows.
it's Jover.
All right, I don't think we're going to get any serious questions,
Oh,
but
wait, I think there was
what?
one question that I might have accidentally skimmed over. Oh, I might not have asked this question. Is there any meme from last year that you hope to still see this year?
Are we talking about like inside jokes, crumbs memes, or like memes in general?
Inside jokes.
Inside jokes. I really did like the I saw your face. I'll remember you.
Cause
That was
we've had a lot of jokes. We had the Do you know who I am? We had Ah God, we had Dirty Boy, we had Dokes,
I
Forehead
honestly use
Guy.
odd god as like my actual like a reaction to something like
I think
I think I've
we've
used it in
used
real
it.
life before as well.
Yeah, I won't even lie. I do that unironically too. You use a meme so much, and it's not even because it's just a meme. It's just like a genuine thing you can just use.
Yeah.
All right, we have two questions from Conrad. Dream Fortnite collabs.
All right. So recently, I just got one of my dream Fortnite collabs, or
What's
actually,
this?
we're getting another one. No, actually, South Park and regular show. I've always wanted those two in Fortnite, but because those are going to, or because South Park's added and regular show is going to be added soon, another dream collab that I would want would probably have to be Left 4 Dead 2. What else? Dexter. That'd be a cool one. And maybe Breaking Bad.
I
Definitely
mean,
those choices.
considering we got Kill Bill and we got Pulp Fiction
And South Park,
and
like
South
one of like
Park,
the most
it's
dirtiest,
it's
inappropriate shows out
possible.
there.
It's possible you literally are gonna get Breaking Bad or Dexter. It's possible. Favorite FNAF game slash character.
Favorite game and characters. So my favorite game, that's got to be definitely the first game. All-time classic, honestly. A lot of good memories. I remember I was on the bus playing that on my iPad next to my friends, and just Foxy jump scared me because I didn't check his camera. I'll always remember that moment. And my favorite character, uh I was always a fan of what the Bonnie from the second game, the
Withered
broken
Bonnie.
one, Withered Bonnie. I was always a fan of Withered Bonnie. And explain the Vader cosplay. So a couple months ago, I bought a Darth Vader costume for it was like 100, 200,
I
I
remember
forgot.
that.
Yeah, yeah. I bought a Vader costume. The helmet it came with sucked, so I bought the like an actual good version. And I went to like two Comic Cons with it, and so many people wanted to take pictures with me. So that costume is so hot. Okay, because the first time I went to a Comic Con with it on, we parked very far away because all the good spots or all the good parking spots were taken. So right when we walked out of the parking garage we were in and the sun touched me, I was already burning up. And the fact that I had to walk around in a suit for like 2 hours, 3 hours, I forget, but it sucked. When I got back to the car, I was covered in sweat. I don't think I've ever been that sweaty in my entire life. I will say it's worth it, but not worth it at the same time. But you get so many reactions out of it, and a lot of kids just want to like take pictures with you, and they think you're so cool. Like it's such a good moment. It was cool.
There you have it. I did. How did you work out your bathroom problem with that?
Oh yeah, the fact that you're wearing this giant suit and like it takes like a long time
Yeah.
to take it off.
Yeah.
So funny thing, I didn't have to go to the bathroom at all during those Comic Cons. Luckily enough, I think I just avoided drinking before that day, so I think that kind of helped. But yeah, yeah, I didn't have to go, and hopefully in the future I do not have to go to the bathroom in that suit.
Are you
God,
gonna
that was
are,
gonna
are you gonna
suck.
go again as Vader?
Probably. I also do have a scout costume I could always go as, but the Vader costume is the best.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up?
Well, if there's no more questions, then I would like to conclude the first ever Crumbs podcast episode with Nick. Thank you, Nick, for being on here, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this. And just all around, just thank you for also being the first ever member to be interviewed. I appreciate it.
No, it's an honor. Honestly, I'm glad we're doing this again. I can't wait to see everyone else's episodes, see how everyone else does with all the questions and whatnot. Can't wait for that. It's great to be doing this again, and yeah, I really enjoyed being back. You're
Conrad,
beating
I
this time.
swear to God, ooh, bro, I swear.
I will admit did feel short, but you know what? I'm just glad. Just glad to be here is all. I answered the questions and yeah.
I will have to say, um, this episode, the first ever one, this has been longer than your previous one. I will say that.
Oh, that's good to know. At least I know people will definitely have longer ones than this. I know that for a fact.
And then you also got to take into account the fact that it's just at the same time during those earlier ones we had really long loading times. Like the thing you where I put starting soon. I would wait till like 30 minutes in the podcast for that. I didn't do this with yours. I think I just took 10 or 15 minutes. I might have taken less. I could have probably taken 5 for all I know.
Yeah.
But yeah. And again, whenever we do have other people on, a lot of the questions that you guys get will be slightly like Nick's. It won't be fully like that, but you guys are gonna have your own personalized questions that are like yours, like how Nick's was sometimes about his favorite characters, stuff he did in the past, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys can be on the lookout for that. But again, I just want to thank you, Nick. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to do this. It's really great to be doing this back.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anything you want to say before we end the stream off to the viewers, aka to Crumbs?
Well, as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed.
Hey guys, Dahi here. I'm going to be on the Someday podcast. I'm going to be on the Crumbs podcast.
Wait. So I got my Dahi plush right here. Let's see what he has to say for the audience. Butt cake.
Thank you guys for watching.